This is the sixth lizard I've found, like this month. I'm pretty sure most of them are feral, so I'm unsure how to stop this from happening. I don't know what to do. I can't help but feel somewhat responsible for their well-being. What are these yellow things coming out of this lizard's stomach? This is Sceloporus occidentalis, and those appear to be desiccated eggs. Sceloporus occidentalis typically lays 3 to 17 eggs per clutch, so this is within the expected range. I'm seeing tiny lizards everywhere right now, and July marks the upper end of the laying season. While it's unlikely, it's possible that the lizards in my area are becoming egg-bound, dying, and exploding during decomposition. However, it's more likely that a cat near my home is killing lizards without eating them. Several cats roam my neighborhood, and they often frequent my yard. Based on the evidence, I'm fairly certain these cats are responsible for the lizard deaths. The tail here has been recently severed. If it was an older wound, you'd see a black regrown stump, which suggests the lizard dropped its tail to escape a predator. Gravid, egg-carrying lizards are heavier, making them easier targets for cats. If you own a cat, this is one of the reasons it's important to keep them indoors, even if they're fixed and enjoy the outdoors. Cats kill native animals indiscriminately, particularly birds and lizards. If each lizard was carrying about 10 eggs, then 60 potential future lizards have been lost. While fence lizards aren't currently threatened, many species are becoming rarer, and there's no reason to make life harder for the wildlife around us. My friend removed a shed and started digging, and he found dozens of bones, including what appears to be a child's leg. The reason he removed the shed was that it had been on the property for as long as the house had and had gone unused since before the last owners moved in, back in 1991. The shed was in extreme disrepair and was likely lowering the market value of the house, not to mention being an eyesore. We have also contacted the previous owners of the house. They had never used the shed and had no idea there was anything like this underneath it. The third to last owners of the house were elderly in the late 1960s, so they have passed away. And of course, everyone before them as well. If it was someone on the property who did this, it was likely the third or fourth to last owners, who died in the 1980s and late 1960s, respectively. The house was built in 1939. We have just found a human pelvis and scapula after continuing to search the site. We have also found a femur. We are contacting the police now. Any idea what this could be? After speaking with the police, they are sending a team out here. They instructed us to move away, stop taking pictures, and not touch anything else. It turns out that the pelvis, scapula, and femur are human, and they are likely extremely old. They mentioned there is no immediate evidence of foul play, and told me to remain quiet for now. So far, they have found 66 bones and bone fragments in the area. Most of these are from animals, including dogs, deer, and raccoons. The pelvis and scapula, however, are confirmed to be human. While the leg is not from an animal, they have not yet stated whether it is human or not. All of these bones, including the human ones, are likely very old. The police's immediate estimate was that they could be 70 to 80 plus years old, but they emphasized that this is only a rough estimation, based on the available information from the property. My friend and I were digging out part of our backyard to install a fire pit when we found these metal rods sticking straight up in the dirt. One is about 1.5 feet long, and the other is about 2 feet. I'm guessing they might be fence posts, though they're different lengths. Could they be property markers or old grave markers? My house was built in 1885, but I have no idea how old these rods are. Any idea what they could be? They are standard garden T-posts. These are very commonly used as supports for vegetable gardens or as fencing. They're also used to support berry bushes, grapevines, and kiwis. My friend found this while digging up a 100-plus-year-old outhouse in Southern California. There's no other writing on the back. The location is specifically Bakersfield, and it seems like it's made of plastic. Any idea what this could be? It's an early electric toothbrush. However, the electric label was more of a marketing ploy. It just contained a magnetized rod, which was essentially a quack medical gimmick. Around this time, manufacturers often used the word electric as a marketing device. For example, I have a straight razor with the electric razor etched onto the surface of the blade. I also have another razor with a magnetized blade. even though the magnetization would have no effect on its effectiveness as a razor. Electricity and magnetism were simply novel and exciting concepts at the time, and manufacturers leveraged that excitement for marketing. My friend found lots of these little objects buried in the ground, while digging out foundations for an extension in the UK. The house was built maybe a couple of centuries ago, and it has a detached garage that was built in the 1980s. The white part around the edge is some kind of plastic, and the inside seems to be charcoal, though it could be something else. These objects were all found within the same general area in the soil. Most were separated, but some were pressed together, as if they had been stacked before being buried. None of us at the site knew what they were, so hopefully someone can shed some light on it. Does anyone have any idea what they might be? They look like individual cells from a battery. If that's the case, then these cells are likely from a larger battery than a standard 9-volt one. They might be from a battery similar in size to a PP9. We found an object made of metal while digging a trench. It's about 12 centimeters tall with a diameter of 8 to 10 centimeters. We just weighed it, and it's 2.8 kilograms, feeling like solid iron. It looks like it has been hanging from 3 hooks. We believe it might be possible to take it apart. We called the police, and they assured us it won't boom. There's no visible writing on it. Any idea what this might be? This is a religious incense burner. A thurible is a metal incense burner suspended from chains, in which incense is burned during worship services. It is used in Christian churches, including those of the Roman Catholic, Eastern Orthodox, Assyrian Church of the East, Oriental Orthodox, Lutheran, and Old Catholic denominations, as well as in some Continental Reformed, Presbyterian, Methodist, and Anglican churches, with its use almost universal amongst Anglican churches of Anglo-Catholic churchmanship. The acolyte or altar server who carries the thurible is called the thurifer. The practice is rooted in the earlier traditions of Judaism, dating from the time of the Second Jewish Temple. In Christianity, the use of incense is symbolic of cleansing and purification, as well as its fragrance suggesting Christ's robe of righteousness that covers the sin of humankind. I saw this at an estate sale, and no one knew what it was. It's a metal scooping or digging tool with sharp edges and a handle shaped like a doorknob. I bought it just to solve the mystery. Sometimes I buy things I don't really need. The tool would only hold a couple of teaspoons of dirt and extends only about 2.5 inches into the soil. Not a very useful depth, except perhaps for planting seeds, though it's a bit too wide for that purpose. Most bulbs and plants are typically planted much deeper than this. The doorknob-shaped handle is ergonomically ineffective. Imagine pushing down repeatedly with the palm of your hand, rather than using the handle of a more conventional tool, which would offer better leverage. This tool seems to have been made for a very specific purpose. The doorknob-shaped handle encourages a twisting motion, and the edges have been sharpened to a point. Maybe it could work as a dibber for a home garden, though the design doesn't seem particularly efficient for that task. Any idea what this is made for?